Welcome to another episode of Unqualified Uprising. Sometimes I say they're special. This one might actually be special. We are going to war, or at least on the precipice of World War III, and Unqualified Uprising is right there on the battlefront, ready to cover this war and to talk about what the hell's going on and what the hell could possibly happen, why we think it happened, why we think it might really escalate into something horrific. I'm going to bring in, well, first of all, I'm your host, Mike. I'm going to bring in my special horse racing analyst correspondent, Joe.
Why did I say war correspondent?
My name's Joe.
Well, yeah, that's the bit. Like, there's something different every time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, are you not okay with that?
I'm fine with it.
Okay, hold on. Bringing in my war correspondent, boots on the ground, Joe.
Hello.
I like it.
I like it
That's
too.
good.
Bringing in my other host, we're just gonna go generic. Tom.
Hello to everyone except for couples that refer to their relationship as a journey.
Okay. You just lost every woman listener we have. They're no longer fans of you.
Probably not. Probably weren't going to be anyway.
I'm gonna bring in. Wow, we are all at war. I love it. Everybody's at war. We're all looking at each other.
We're at war with each other.
We're at war with each
The
other.
war at home.
War at home. The war within. And I'm gonna bring in producer Adam.
Hey, we're
Hey.
at war.
We're at
Kinda.
war. Okay, Joe, you are chomping at the bit, and my voice is killing me. So go ahead. You have the floor.
All right, so we are in two different wars on two different fronts that we're supporting and we're putting all of the money towards. So we have the war that Israel is fighting with Hamas that we're putting lots of money towards, and other countries are not assisting. And then we also have the war in Ukraine that the same thing is occurring. And I actually think that as an American, and I know lots of people that agree with me, that we should know how many people are dying in this war, like numbers. We should actually be given numbers because our tax dollars are paying for this war.
Well, where's
and
the money
nobody
coming
else
from?
is.
We
Look
don't
at that bottom line. Isn't that bottom
Nobody
line?
else is
We don't
paying.
have any money. I don't
How
know
much
how
it
we're-
coffins cost?
It's all debt. The money's being printed,
Yeah.
and other countries that are part of NATO that say they're going to help out. They're not
No,
being required to put any
NATO.
money towards it.
We're just throwing nothing.
You get NATO. You get NATO from us.
You got nada from
So-
NATO.
Not out from NATO.
Oh man, we got nothing. I don't know how we're. God, we got nothing. We got no money for any of this.
But like you would have a lot of people that you would have 99% of the people that would not support the war if they knew how many people were dying.
Why do they? Why do they keep this information from us? Like, why do they hide it? Why? I'm asking you a question.
Yes.
Yes,
I
yes,
think
yes.
I think the reason that they're hiding it is because they're getting some kickbacks from the countries involved in the war. Somewhere along the line, they're getting something. It's like a mafia setup.
Somebody's getting paid.
Yeah, there's money coming from somewhere, or if not money, a promise of loyalty. If for some reason something goes wrong, or
Favor.
there's some sort of either favoritism or money. It's just like the mafia, and the solidarity is very easy to figure out. It's easy to figure out the secrecy involved in it and why it's happening if you just know a little bit about politics. It's a mafia. It's like the mafia.
All right,
It's very similar to the
I'll
mafia.
raise you one. Okay, why are we giving so much money overseas where there was just a hurricane last week and people are still dead and or missing, and they're filibustering, getting them funds to fucking...
And they're not
Basically
allowing people to help. People want to help, and they say, hey, go away. Don't. You get
Yeah.
arrested. This is going on.
What? Say that one more time.
So
They're
there's
telling people to go away.
Who's telling people to go
The
away?
government.
The government from where?
the federal government
Yeah.
is saying to stand back, don't help.
Private citizens.
So yeah, so it's if they make an announcement on the news, mostly cable news, obviously. Don't
Guys,
tell.
what the fuck are you talking about?
So
The
we're talking
hurricane.
about the goddamn hurricane.
Oh,
and
well,
people
you
that
didn't
wanna
say.
help.
I didn't-
Yeah, we did. We brought up the hurricane.
Well, I wasn't listening. I was staring at. So I was
taking
looking
care
at
of your
Joe.
cold.
I was looking at Joe.
Well,
and
Joe's good to
drinking
look
something.
at. Now,
Shut
Yeah.
up.
Joe's something to look at. Go ahead, Joe.
So
What is wrong with you?
what happened? See, the thing about it is, those states, a lot of those states, the government should be helping FEMA, and they should be on the ground helping them with what they need. Even with the insurance, they've helped out in different situations, tornadoes, hurricanes, etc. But a lot of those states, like the southern part of the country, Tennessee, Georgia, those states, the people, because the government's not getting involved, and you feel bad for them, the people.
They're on
It's
TikTok.
gonna
They're on
take.
YouTube. They're on
It's
YouTube.
it's
they're begging for
going
help.
to take a lot longer, but they will eventually get there, because all of the churches. My dad was saying that all of the churches down in Tennessee are helping out. All of the grassroots churches, they're putting all their money towards it. The state of Tennessee's helping the people in Tennessee. So state government's helping out, but there's still no excuse why the federal government can't help out.
And you're not going to point out that Donald J. Trump started the GoFundMe.
And
Go ahead, I'll let you have that one.
And Donald J. Trump, hopefully the future 47th president, started a GoFundMe page that is helping the people affected by it.
The hurricane.
And the hurricane.
No.
And he
Okay.
donated some of his own money towards
Okay.
it as
Now,
well.
you might say, people might say, oh, he's just doing that to look good. But
Yeah.
what has come out, who cares? It's something.
He's
doing
doing
something.
it to help out. I mean, he's
Yeah.
helped out people in the past with donations.
So what has Kamala Harris done
I
to help?
mean, they're going to politicize everything anyway.
I think
Well,
that- I
the
think-
resident in charge is sitting on a beach, and
Yeah.
his vice president or would-be
He's suntanning
president
his
is on the other side of the country
Oh,
campaigning
that's nice.
nonsense.
The fucking question was about the war.
Yeah.
And the
So
possible
we're
war.
talking about the war.
No, you're
We
talking about the
segue into other
hurricane.
things sometimes.
We're not segueing into
Going back to the
anything.
war.
War.
What is it good
Okay.
for?
Who should we bomb?
Absolutely nothing.
Who should we bomb?
Everyone.
Other than everyone.
What?
Who should we attack?
What we need, we don't need to attack anybody.
Why not?
What we need
I
is
don't wanna.
Donald Trump's diplomacy. We need somebody to go to talk to Vladimir Putin and tell him, if you don't stop, we're going to take care of you. That's all you need to do. And with Israel, we should be backing Israel. I mean, but we should be asking other countries to help us with it, because they're going after terrorists that affect the whole Middle East, not just Israel.
Trump would be up there going, "Don't you dare!" That's what he did his first term. Don't
Well,
fuck with us.
yeah.
Don't fuck with us.
But what he did worked, because we have the military, we have the weapons. It's the same thing like when Teddy Roosevelt basically used his military to, for diplomacy, when he said that he carries a big stick. It's on the same idea as Trump with the diplomacy.
Diplomacy. I love how it's diplomacy.
That's what it's about.
Well.
You want to not be in a war.
Right. And we weren't in a war, and I don't want to be in a war. War to me is like not even last resort. War to me is like no resort.
Yeah, there
it should
shouldn't be
no,
any
and
war.
There is no reason for a war.
Yeah.
None.
And
Unless,
you got
unless
evil-
there is a threat, a legitimate threat to our mainland. Yes.
Yeah. And you have a situation here with Iran and Hamas. This situation is extremely similar to 9/11, because in 9/11 you had different actors. You had Afghanistan, you had the Taliban, and you had
Saudi
you
Arabia.
had the Taliban.
Saudi Arabia.
Well, yeah, but Saudi Arabia.
Nobody likes to talk about that.
It was so. Well,
But
that's,
it was a bunch of Afghanistanis. And
no, that was the Saudi Arabians that
Yeah,
were
the Saudi
hijacking the plane.
But you had the
Saudi Arabians. What? No, I didn't say that.
you had the Taliban and Al Qaeda.
You guys go ahead, because then I'm going to tell you what everybody in this country feels.
Yeah.
But go ahead and finish your
Okay.
statement.
Country.
But
But
you
I'm
have
going to speak for everyone.
all right.
No, go ahead and talk about what you're saying.
Okay.
Then I'm going to
But
tell you.
what I'm saying is the Taliban and Al Qaeda, it's the same situation where the Taliban was the government harboring Al Qaeda. It's the same thing with the Iranians harboring Hamas. The Iranians and Hamas are the same, they're the same group pretty much. I mean, Iran is above them, and then Iran harbors them. They allow it, and all the attacks coming in from Hamas to Israel, a lot of them are coming in from Yemen. It's Iran. It's not just the Gaza area. That's all I wanted to say.
Okay, so I'm going to try not to be controversial, but the first part of this might sound controversial, but I'm not going that route. And then I'm going to tell you what everyone in America thinks. But first, I'm going to tell you what the problem is over there. So, some, if not many of those countries, you can't drink, so no alcohol. You are forbidden, I believe it's either by the Quran or Sharia law or whatever, no self-satisfaction, if you get what I'm saying. So none of that.
I'd be dead in a day.
Women, some of the most beautiful women you have ever seen, Arabian princesses, you will only see their eyes because they need to be covered from head to toe. So did I mention that you live in a 24-hour-a-day fucking hellhole, a giant pile of sand that's so hot during the day it burns your feet, and so cold at night you get fucking frostbite.
And no pork.
No pork.
No baseball.
No fucking rap music. No fucking sports except cricket and soccer. Come on. You'd be fucking miserable too.
Yep.
That's my feelings on that whole segment of this fucking world over there. Yeah. Their religion inhibits them from doing a lot of things. I don't blame them for that. But I feel in the bottom of my heart it's making them fucking miserable. I know that's not a tenet of being Muslim or Islam, being fucking miserable. I doubt it says that in the Quran, but a majority of those fucking people are. And think about it. You're living in the desert. No boobs, no booze, no fucking, no anything. No pork, no you got ride around a camel, but you got oil. You can fucking drink oil. Good for you. Now I'm going to tell you what the rest of this. Now I'm going to tell you what this whole country thinks. Okay? Do you have any idea what I'm going to say?
Not really, but I'm listening.
Tom, do you have any idea what I'm going to say?
Nope. I'm anticipating.
Adam?
No, sir.
Okay. So I'm going to say 95% of this country, Republican, Democrat, Libertarian, Independent, wants every single country involved in the Middle East to shut the fuck up and stop causing problems with everybody. That includes Israel. That includes Iran. Mind your own fucking business. Probably 98% of this country has no idea historically why we're even involved over there. All they know about is oil. All they don't know about, we trained Osama bin Laden.
Yep.
We trained a lot of their fucking military generals. We trained the majority of our adversaries.
We made Saddam Hussein
We
too.
made Saddam Hussein who he was.
Yeah. We gave him the power. And we took it.
Probably 60% of this country doesn't care if that place is on fire or made of fucking glass. They do not care one way or the other. And probably 40% of this world doesn't give a shit either way. They don't care if it's robots bringing them oil. That whole region needs to settle down. The rest of the world looks at that whole region as a bunch of tribalistic animals. I said it.
If they're honest with themselves.
If they're honest with themselves,
but
yeah.
that's not always like there's a lot of pundits, as you say,
Yeah.
that'll say the opposite. And there's some people that'll listen to these pundits and say that these and support these people because I mean, what they think might be one thing, but they vocalize support for these people. I mean, they do. You know, they do.
I think I might be being a little high on my numbers, and
I think so.
I'm thinking
In your brain, you can't comprehend somebody supporting any of that or giving a shit about any of that with all the problems they cause.
just with the amount of death involved in that whole region, going back to the Crusades, going back to the fucking Saladin, going as
It's for
far
kicks.
back as you can.
It's for kicks.
It's for nothing. It's for
They,
sand.
they kill for kicks.
It's for sand. And I just I am really confident in my 60% number of this country. Not if if somebody just took the piece of that map and just hit delete and that shit was no longer there, I don't think anybody would care.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody
They would
care.
at first. They pretend to care, but it was
Social justice warrior into the end of the earth, but
how can we bully them like that?
all the things that we enjoy in this country are a majority of them are strictly forbidden over there, and not forbidden like you get a ticket. You were drinking outside, you get a ticket. You did a DWI, you get arrested. You beat somebody up, you go to jail. No, over there, you get stoned to death, or you get shot, or you get put in jail
I get put in a wood shredder.
through some kangaroo court and end up in a fucking wood chipper somewhere.
You know, right after 9/11, I remember my dad basically saying the same thing as you, that the only way to stop the fighting over there is to just like nuke, do a nuke and then say a prayer. But I mean, so I know other people that feel the same way as you.
Here's the thing: I don't feel. I'm not here. Let me rephrase that. I think it's the place.
Yeah.
I think if you relocated all those people and just left the oil fields for like the world, and we all got a cut of that, and all those evil assholes out in the sand got to go to North Carolina, got to go to Morocco, got to go to some cool place in China, I don't think we'd have a lot of problems.
No.
I think it's too many religions, too much animosity stacked on top of each other. You got so many countries over there, people don't even know their names. There's so many stands over there. It's like a fucking stand factory. I don't know how to explain it. There's too many stands.
There is a lot of extremism over there, and religious.
Really?
That went right over his head. I don't think he got
But
that
there's
one.
a lot.
I don't think he understood that one.
In America, though, like the Amish, they are like ultra religious and very restrictive too. Not to the extent that they are over there, but it does exist in other cultures too.
Yeah, guess what? It sucks here too.
It does.
It sucks being
Yeah.
Amish too.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. It
You're in
does.
any cult here, it probably sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except
try-
the MAGA cult, but I'll get back.
No, I don't worship
know.
Trump. No
The
worship.
thing is, the Irish people or the Amish people don't run around and fucking bomb
Yeah.
people.
But
The
what,
Amish people don't stab people on the fucking highway. The Amish people don't drive trucks
Yeah.
across bridges in
But-
London.
when it comes to like someone who is good at diplomacy like Trump,
Trump.
he
Right back
would-
to Trump.
I know, but he would be. What I'm telling you is, it would not. The thing in the Middle East with Israel and that would not go away, but it would be a lot tamer. But the issue with Russia and Ukraine, that would go away. He would get that gone. That we wouldn't be involved in that, spending money in that, nothing. But the Middle East has always been very hostile because of the religions and what you were saying, Mike.
I
With
was on the my thing with I hate war, and there never should be war. But I'm saying
War.
If we were going to go
War.
More war.
they made the case to go to Iraq.
Oil. I mean, weapons of mass destruction.
If
Oil.
If we were going to go to Iraq, we were going to destroy it. It was not. Don't go in there. Like we weren't fighting a war. Like these people, you can't go to a war and ask a soldier not to use their full lethal capacities.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Because
true.
anybody that serves in the military deserves to die of old age in a bed, comfortable, not in some fucking sand dune in a godforsaken hole. So I'm saying we limit our soldiers when they go over and fight these people anyway. So I'm saying if you're going to go, annihilate. That's it, or don't go,
Yeah.
or let them fuck each other up.
These people are taking the plumbing out of hospitals to make rocket propelled grenades and other like makeshift missile launchers. These people are willing to die for their cause. I respect that, but they're dying for the wrong cause.
Yeah.
You're dying in a horrible way and taking other innocent assholes with you for no reason because you're mad about religion. And the hard thing with Gaza and Israel is Palestinians want the Jews eradicated. It doesn't say from the river to the sea.
Yeah.
Palestine will be free. It doesn't say, yeah, after all the Jews get escorted off the property safely and they get all their fucking private jets and we send them out of
Gone, gone.
here. Yeah, they're all dead. That's what they
No
want.
compromise. They don't
There's
want
no
them-
compromise.
They want them to cease to exist.
Cease to exist. Why do we need to compromise with them? I'm tired of it, and I'm going to get out the averages again because I know I speak for the nation. I think the numbers probably crept up within the last couple of years because that shit kind of calmed down over there with Trump.
It did.
It did. They were just mad at each other.
Some will say Biden.
Who? Nobody.
You
we
know-
haven't even heard from them since Biden's been
Yeah.
there because
Trump scared them.
Yeah,
Trump scared
You know
them.
what else?
Scared them. Yeah.
He gets in, it's going to calm down again. I guarantee it. Because he's going to do what's needed to calm it down. But it's not going to go away. It will just get a lot better than it is now. Because we're putting money behind it. We're putting weapons behind it. We're going after, we're helping out with it to increase it instead of saying that this needs to stop, and I definitely think that it will get a lot better when Trump. I don't think it will go away. I think the Ukraine-Russia war will. I think he's going to stop that with his diplomacy, but that's just my prediction. We'll see in a couple of months.
If Trump was killed when that scumbag hit him in Butler, Pennsylvania, I think we would already be at full-blown DEFCON 5 war.
I think so too.
America's weak right now. America's on the precipice of a nation, a defunct nation. I don't know how else to say. We can't pay our bills. We owe Germany trillions of dollars. We owe China trillions of dollars. First of all, we shouldn't owe anybody anything. It's bullshit.
How we got so much in debt?
That's
That's
a big
insane.
problem. It's with the what is it?
We're already huge. A deficit. We're already huge. We already had a huge deficit going into that Corona bullshit,
Yeah.
and we sent out another several trillion dollars. I fuck this place. I mean, America's the best country in the world. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else, but fuck.
Yeah, and then we have to rely on one guy to come in and fix it. You have the government's so corrupt. It's such a cesspool. You got people on both sides in on it. I mean, it's just like and you have to have most of the people. Their only hope is to have one gentleman that's almost 80 years old to come in and fix it.
And those stimulus bills were all a joke. They were not just stimulus. They were loaded with shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just spend, and spend more.
Yeah, and
spend more.
the stimulus too. That when Trump was giving out the stimulus for COVID,
Sure.
at that time,
Yes.
we also were not laying out a tsunami of money to two different wars in two different areas.
Yeah.
It was only at that, because could you imagine, like, let's say for example, you had Biden and you had these two wars going on, and then COVID hits.
Oh,
Talk
shit,
about
yeah.
bankrupt.
Yeah.
We'd have
The
no.
country
We'd
would've
have
been-
no money. No money at all.
You have to have some sort of a safety. You have to have some sort of, available funds. Like right now, we're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, if it was 10 years earlier or 15 years earlier, yeah, we would
Yeah,
have
and
been
why
we would
not-
have been crazy.
And also you're not asking any of the other countries that are involved in it either to help out. So there's that, and there's the fact that with a little diplomacy, we wouldn't the Russia-Ukraine thing probably wouldn't exist. So there's that factor too.
Yeah, but that's hard because that goes back to USSR bullshit. That's gangster shit that America, we shouldn't necessarily be involved. You do realize that some of the shit they're fighting over in Ukraine is fucking Chernobyl, right?
Yeah. Well,
They can have Chernobyl,
but
Go ahead, let them
we have an interest in keeping Ukraine as
Yeah,
part
I
of the
know.
free world.
Do you know why?
Yeah, because
Why?
we don't want to lose them to China. They don't want them to become communist, and they want to be part of the free world.
Okay. Do you want to know really why?
Yeah, why?
Because they have a bunch of cobalt and a bunch of other precious minerals that we need.
There's that too.
There-
Yeah.
No. There's
Yeah.
that. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
But all someone needs to do is have a stern talking to with Vladimir Putin, and then it would stop.
Listen. Get me on a plane that Tom flew to fucking Iran on, and put me in front of him. I'm not making up bullshit. I'm telling you. You just have to have someone just talk to these people.
Someone
Just
with
talk.
a brain,
Just
with
go,
common
"Hey,
sense.
How are you doing? Okay, well, listen, this shit's getting a little out of control. What can we do to pull back a little bit? Just a little bit. And you go from 100 people dying on one day to 80 people dying. And yes, it does cost human life. Diplomacy has always cost human life. But you just got to ask them to pull back a little. Gaza and Israel, or Israel and Palestine and the Gaza Strip, that is a big issue. The only way you could do it is you bulldoze the entire area and cut it straight down the middle and give it to either side. And say the second there's any kind of retaliatory strike or any kind of bullshit, you're done. And it has to be every other nation being involved with it too. It has to be India going, no more. We're tired of it. Has to be Russia going, cut it out. Get on your fucking camels and chill the fuck out. Go look at the pyramids. Relax.
Yeah.
Fucking relax. It's too much.
And that's the thing, too. Two of the biggest countries in the world, India and China, are both in the same continent, in the same region as the Middle East.
Yeah, but India don't like nobody. India don't like China. India don't like us.
Yeah,
Mundi don't like nobody.
that's true.
They got the biggest population in the world, more than China. Did you know that?
No, I heard
They
China
do.
was the biggest.
No. India has like 1.45 billion, and China has 1.44 billion. So India has more population than China.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'd be more nervous about India. But we're talking about the war and the possible war, so we're going to wrap it up. What do you think, Joe? Now I put you on the spot. You never know what to do when I put you on the spot. We're
Let's
wrapping it up
re-elect
'cause
Trump and end the wars.
Dying over there, huh?
Let's re-elect Trump so we can end the war.
Is that your final wartime statement?
That's it.
That's your wartime speech?
Yep.
Okay, Thomas.
Like I said earlier, if we do wind up being forced to take action, we just got to wipe them off the face of the earth.
Oh man,
I don't want it to come to that, or we just let them wipe each other out.
there you go.
That's my preferred way of doing it, where it doesn't cost us a cent, and we can concentrate on maybe someday getting a surplus. Probably not in my lifetime.
There's Tom, the cheap warmonger. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you, Tom. Adam, your final statements.
War. What is it good for?
More war.
Yes.
War equals money. A lot
Go
of
ahead,
people
Joe.
get paid.
I see you over there.
Yes, I wanted to mention something too.
Okay.
When
Go
it,
ahead.
when it comes to the Holy Bible,
Oh God.
which
My mic's on.
some
I
pe-
hope I'm getting picked up.
some people believe is true, and others believe is fiction. But it was wrote. It was wrote thousands of years ago. So, but can I talk or no?
That's
Yes.
So the Bible says that the war in the Middle East is going to go on in perpetuity forever. And it was wrote a long time ago. So they must have been having problems thousands of years ago when the Bible was written.
Yeah, it's the Holy War.
Yeah,
the
it's
Crusades.
just a continuous war. It's not going to end ever. But might be able to tame it, but you're not going to end it completely.
Them sings my song.
This has been a special wartime episode of Unqualified Uprising. I'm your host, Mike. Bye for now.